Hey, what's going on everyone, and welcome to today's video. And we have a special guest with us today, and you might have seen him in some of my other videos, especially related to real-time arena, but please introduce yourself again for the fans.
Well, thank you, Bolin. My name is Genome of Genome Gaming. I am a relatively new upstart in the MSF content creator community, and my channel, Genome Gaming, is specifically geared toward the free-to-play player and the newer player to just entering the mid-game player. So I don't really deal on the high-end stuff because I'm a free-to-play player myself, so I have a couple accounts going. So hopefully there's some good how-to videos out there that would strike someone's fancy.
Well, and definitely recommend checking out his channel if you guys want. You'll find Genome's channel in the description below of this video, so that would be awesome if you guys could do that. So today we plan on talking about Doom's influence, and I'll bring it up right here on my events window here. And you guys might have seen this because this has been going on for quite a few months. I actually don't remember anymore when it started, but do you remember when? I think it was in like November, but honestly,
yeah, it's been quite a while.
Was it like Doom War Chapter 2 or Doom War 1? I don't remember
think it was
when they
released 1. Yeah,
I think it obviously when Doom became a thing and things like that. But this is ending as of this video, 2 days and 20 hours. But realistically, this is should be Tuesday by store reset time. And in case you guys are unfamiliar with this, this is very this is very important for early and mid game, some mid game players still, but definitely early game players, because this allows you to farm so many of the newer characters, including the Black Widow, Captain America, Captain Marvel, and a few others a lot easier. That's on the hero side of things. On the villain side of things, they had Mysterio made a lot easier to farm. Looking at the list here, Shocker was moved a bit earlier on as well, and Green Goblin was actually moved to Villains 2-3, which is really early on. And actually Vision was moved to Nexus 3-9, but he's kind of not really all that great anymore. He used to be really good, but kind of fell down the wayside. So this is a really important thing for new players to farm all of these characters, Wave 1 Avengers and Sinister Six especially. And what's going to happen after these days are over? Hopefully this is made permanent, but yeah, I mean, what do you think about this? Because I'm just looking at the Doom's influence page right now here with all the characters available and where they are, and yeah, it's quite something.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too, and I made some notes on several things that impact mostly the newer player. The Doom's influence is one of the few things that this game has done to really help out the new player, making Sinister Six available so much easier. I always advise everyone to go Sinister Six first as your first team. You can get 2 legendaries out of it. And then they got, of course, Wave 1 Avengers, like you said, in the early nodes too. Mm-hmm. And these are nodes you can unlock in your first week or two and start the farm right away. On my other secondary account, I've already unlocked Shuri and Invisible Woman. I've got like 3 months in game in there. So it's changed the dynamic of what it does for new players. And honestly, those legendaries have been power crept anyway. So I think it's not such a bad thing to give it to the early players. Throwing them a bone like that is a nice thing.
And especially with Invisible Woman just coming out this past Monday, I believe it was, for the event. It's kind of annoying because I can't actually see legendary character events because I've already maxed them out. But I know that Invisible Woman is being made more frequently. I think they said something in one of the blog posts about every 6 weeks maybe, or something like that, specifically with Invisible Woman, but that's something that they might do more with other legendaries. And I know that Shuri actually hasn't come back around for some time. She's kind of due for a pass pretty soon, although she's good, but I mean, at this point there's so many legendaries that probably need to be made permanent. But because of the Sinister Six being important to not only Invisible Woman but to Shuri as well, that's a 2-for-1 right there. So I don't see them going back on this, and it would be really dumb, for them to go Mysterio from a 3-star unlock to a 2 and then back to a 3 again, and then Hawkeye to whatever. I don't see that happening. But it just makes me wonder, why is this sitting here? And actually, this isn't this, there was a couple of times, and I don't know if you remember, but the Doom's influence was kind of due to expire a couple of times before, and then they kept pushing it back by a month or 2 each time. I don't know why they kept doing that and why they just didn't make it permanent, because it seems like people were, every time that this timer kind of crept up, people were like, well, is it going to be going back to the way it was before and whatnot. So
It was foolish because a lot of these, especially the Sinister Six and even Cap too, they were on really high-end nodes. These are nodes you're not going to be hitting for the first couple months you're hitting in the game. So yeah, it just made no sense to me to switch it back. I think it was so much better to get these characters in because they were placing characters that weren't important anyway. So it doesn't hurt them. So.
And I think it's a really interesting time with the anniversary celebrations going live right now as well. By the time this expires, it's going to be, just over halfway through the event, I think. And so I think this would be a bit of a slap in the face to the players if it's like suddenly, oops, oh, hey guys, we're going to be getting rid of all of this. Black Widow's going. Do you remember where Black Widow was before this?
Let's see, Black Widow. Where was she?
She was in Villains Chapter 7, which was only available in, which is only available if you're over level 70, because it goes Hero 7 and then Villain 7.
And it finished part of the Heroes campaign.
Pulling that up right now, so I believe she was 7-9, I think, which is now where Ironheart is. I think. I don't think she was 7-3. She might have been 7-3. She was either 7-3 or 7-9, but I think Ironheart was added in there later. I think this was at some point that Black Widow was moved out and then Ironheart was moved in. That happened around the same time, I think. I could be wrong, but I'd have to go back in some of my videos.
Basically, by the time you could farm her, she was irrelevant anyway.
Right, so, I mean, nobody really farmed her there anyways because anyone who was that far in these new campaigns typically didn't use Black Widow much. I mean, now we have Wave 1 Avengers. I think Villains came out before the Wave 1 Avengers rework because it wasn't until Doom War, I believe, that the Wave 1 actually got the proper rework because you do see Wave 1 Avengers to be used in a couple of different sections of the Doom War campaign, but that's a bit of a different topic. So they can't really throw I don't think, well, they definitely can't throw Black Widow back into where she was before. And then, of course, getting rid of Captain Marvel would be a completely different, very player unfriendly. But the question is, with some of the characters that are, that still need to be made farmable, are they going to do more? Are they going to, I don't know, is there going to be Galactus's influence? I doubt it. But, with Silver Surfer coming out, right, what does that really mean these days? So, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts about what might happen in 3 days' time? Will they just come out and it's like, boom, this is permanent, and then, but why wait so long to do this? Why is it still ticking in the events window? And that's what's really made me curious all this time.
I don't know. It seems like they wouldn't, if they're going to give it something, they'd probably make it really good again, because I can't imagine them taking away something good. As angry as the community is right now with some of the practices going on, I can't imagine them taking away something that's actually popular. So unless they're going to replace it with something even better, I don't know, but they can take out some things. There's some stuff with ABCs and some other trash no farms where they could put characters, Yeah. So I guess if they did anything, they would probably just leave most of it there, or at least add some more good characters to the early game experience. Kind of like they did with Zemo, but great story, different story.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't know if any of this, like I said, I don't know if any of this has anything to do with the upcoming Strike Pass that's going to be coming to the game. I'm looking at the objectives window right now, and it says Strike Pass season coming soon, although your head's in the way of the soon part. That's all right. We know it's there. And, I don't know if this is when they're going to decide to do this at the same time. It just seems so bizarre that they would just keep it running like this for, I want to say, at least since November. Or October, November time when they did this Doom's Influence, and they, it was like a 60 or 90 day thing, and then when that was soon to expire, they pushed it back for another 30 days or another 60 days or something like that, and then I think did it once again. I think at least they pushed it back twice, and I just kind of felt like, is there a reason behind that? And I guess we'll find out on Tuesday. We'll also see maybe if the Strike Pass season gets launched there, and that's kind of something else I wanted to talk about in this video too for a little bit here, and what you think might be coming with the Strike Pass. What's your thoughts on the Strike Pass? Like I said, there were some people in my Discord channel and other people in my alliance that I've been talking to, whether or not this is going to be a full month-long season pass necessarily, I don't know. What's the pricing gonna be? Does it matter? With all the stuff that's going on in the game right now. So I almost don't know how to feel about this. Whether or not I'm gonna be too enthused. We didn't see anything in the blog post the other day on Friday, and I have absolutely no clue, other than the fact that we're supposedly getting Silver Surfer shards. But beyond that, I don't know what it entails.
Well, the funny thing is, Silver Surfer is all they have to put in there, and they're still going to sell it. So
that's true.
The nature beast. If I was, I'm not going to hazard too much of a guess, but I'm betting if they want to once again placate the community, I think they're going to start putting like 13 orange pieces in there. I think they're going to do a lot of that because that's still a huge bottleneck that people are having trouble with. I know I'm having it myself. So I bet it's going to be loaded with orange gear from at least the 13s or so. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. I think the only thing that we do know is that it's going to have 3 different versions. I'm not sure if you heard about this, depending on what levels you are. That's actually available in the data mines actually on Discord. So I'm just going to bring that up really quick. I did see it somewhere here. I'm not sure. Did you see that as well?
No, I didn't get to see that.
So it is in the Marvel Strike Force official Discord. They have the Strike Pass information about Strike Pass 1, 2, and 3. So the rewards will vary depending on what tier you have, with Strike Pass 1 being levels 10 to 49. 2 is 50 to 69, and then 3 is 70 plus. So my guess is that the rewards itself, at least, you know, whether or not it's, let's say, green and blue gear for tier 1, purple gear for tier 2, and then orange gear for tier 3. I don't know if you'll then get everything else that would have been in the previous pass, if the price is going to vary. I think that's actually important to know as well, because why would I want to pay the same price for a level 10 to 49 pass as a level 70 plus pass? You know, like it should be a pricing tier, I suppose, like $5. $5 for the first one, 10 for the second, and 15 or something for the third. I don't know. Again, we don't know anything. We know very little other than that. That was the only kind of tidbit of information. And that, you know, it doesn't say anything about the duration, but it does say completing daily objectives will earn progress through the Strike Pass, and all rewards in the free pass can be earned without purchase. And then it says purchasing a premium pass will unlock access to the top lane of rewards. The milestone must still be achieved before claiming the reward. It runs as a season. Once the duration expires, you'll no longer make progress. So it doesn't tell us how long it's going to be, just that it's going to be similar to, God dare I say, the battle pass, that it's just going to be separated into different tiers. But, you know, I just for a feature that was really tipped off for this patch, you know, at the start of the patch of this era, you know, we don't have any information on it. I just find that a bit astonishing. I'm not surprised though.
Yeah, that's been par for the course the last 6 months though. We can't even get a legendary cadence, for goodness sake, that ever sticks. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me whatsoever, actually. What does kind of surprise me about though is the fact that this is something they're gonna make a lot of money with. So you'd think they'd be getting the hype really moving for it by giving us some details, you know, and then we start theory crafting about, you know, whether to purchase it or not. So I don't think it behooves them to keep this one too close to the chest, you know.
Only because, you know, who is behind the Strike Pass, at least in the first season, and that's Silver Stimulus himself, you know.
Dollar sign.
The one character that, you know, Scopely has been banking on, who have probably made a crap ton of money on this. I just find it hilarious that, you know, he's the mascot for the anniversary event, and yet he's not available free to play. So to me, that makes it sound like maybe you might start earning these shards on Tuesday with the Strike Pass, because it would be really weird for them to not have him available in the event that he is a mascot for. So, you know, nowhere is he in the milestones or anywhere. You know, he's on the front cover. I'm looking at it right now. Stellar Celebration. He's right there with his silver fist up in the air here, and, you know, you can't get him free to play. Sure, with money, but I mean, how long does a character have to be available purely pay to win before he's available for the public?
Yeah,
you know,
the damage is already done too. Genie's out of the bottle. They are giving us shards because I'm seeing them all over the place now.
Honestly, you know what? Because he's there as the mascot for the anniversary event, they should have just gave everyone free 45 shards, so at least everyone would have him unlocked. You know, at this point, I think that's the fair thing to do. But, you know, obviously they don't want to do that. They don't want to be too nice. But,
I guess not.
But based on the sort of backlash that's been happening lately, I think that's like the bare minimum of what they could do for us. And for everyone else, because he's just that game breaking and game changing that, you know, at least other people should have a chance to at least have him at a 2-star level.
Yeah, he's a total meta shifting character, and it really wouldn't hurt them at all just to give everyone a free 2-star, because the whales are still going to buy it anyway to bump him up, and the free to play players at least could have toyed with him and made things a little bit easier on him in RTA and all that, where he's all over the place. So yeah, it does seem kind of strange that they're keeping him so like paywalled, and we don't even know if he's going to be in part of the first Strike Pass. So so strange with his release. I mean, he was basically what got him that players back into good graces with Scopely, and he kept people quiet, but he's not available for everybody. So I don't know what their end game plan with this guy is.
Yeah, I wish I could, guess what Scopely has planned, but obviously there's absolutely no thinking what they're thinking, because they do almost completely the opposite of what we want them to do.
All right, yeah, so Strike Pass, Silver Surfer, and all that, and Doom's influence getting turned back. It's just, I don't know, there's an awful lot of mystery coming up in the near future, and maybe we'll get a big information dump next Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday. I don't know, but yeah, like I said, they're playing it very close to the chest as of late, and I'm kind of baffled why. I guess maybe they're really trying to troubleshoot everything to make sure they don't put another broken release out or something, because of all.
Well, I mean, that's the other question, right? So, is there something that you would like to see? Let's flip it on the other side. Is there anything you would like to see that maybe they haven't talked about with regards to either the Strike Pass, or if they decide to expand on Doom's influence at all? Maybe make, I don't know, maybe move other characters around. That might. I think if they were going to do that, they might have already mentioned that, because they did mention a few of those in the Friday blog post, actually, especially with regards to the Kree characters. But I wonder if they might do this with. I didn't think about any characters off the top of my head that maybe they could move around, but maybe they would do more player-friendly decisions.
A couple of them, like, say, Kree Oracle. I mean, if you're actually going for Nick Fury, take him out of the freaking store, the raid store or whatever, and put him on a node, on a trash node. You don't have to have a 3 separator between each character. There's plenty of empty nodes that no one's using, so go for that. I think they definitely could do with getting some better cadences just with farming in particular, and this will be good for even the pay to win. I hate to say pay to win, but the paying guys, too, because once again, we just now started farming Beast like 6 months later, and he's powerful now with the team, but there's lots of other characters like Anti-Venom and all that people need to round out their teams, and by the time that you can farm them, the meta's leaving them behind. So they definitely got to improve the cadence, and whether they put them on early nodes or not, it's not even the point. It's just they need to make them farmable in some way. So yeah, I think they should leave Duke influence alone, maybe add another couple cool characters that have been out too long without being overly farmed, and just kind of make it easier for the new player experience. Not so much that you have to hand everything to them, but it'll keep their interest, you know what I mean? And let them build a couple early powerful teams, and then they may decide, hey, okay, I like this game. This is kind of fun. I've been wrecking nerds a little bit, and maybe I will purchase some more powerful teams when they come out. So I think it's a good way to hook them in. And yeah, just make it a little more new player friendly, I'd say, and give us some information on Silver Surfer, for goodness sake.
Yeah, I mean, it was really about time about Beast going into Nexus 5/6. That was actually a fairly player-friendly decision. It was. He's a fairly. I'm looking at it right now. Actually, it's only about a 10k power node, roughly on the enemies there. And there's a couple other places in the whole Nexus sort of campaign where they could drop a few more characters as well, or maybe get rid of some of the other terrible ones. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out on Tuesday. But I definitely hope it's not going backwards. I hope it goes forward, and I hope they maybe do a little bit more than what we expect, or at the very least, we see the Strike Pass get released finally, and we get to complain about that later on.
No, and it's sort of on the subject. I saw a really cool post about this in Reddit about what to do with useless minion characters like the Bruisers and all that are out there. It's like make another store and make it like the cast-off stores or whatever, so you can go in there really cheap.
Or even like a legacy store, like some sort of like really old characters. After it's been 2 years, really it should be after a year. This is probably a different discussion for another video, though. But there is another game out there, that Star Wars game out there, that apparently doubles the shards for characters after a year of them being out. But hey, I think they need to do more for catch-up mechanics for this for newer players. Otherwise, people aren't just going to want to jump into the game when they realize how long the grind is. I mean, of course, it's a grindy game, but they could definitely kind of improve on that for the player base. So I'm going to leave things off just there. But thank you, Genome, for coming along for today's video, and of course all of you for watching this video today. And like I said, I'll leave a link in the description below of this video for Genome's channel, so please do check him out if you have the time. And any final words for you, Genome?
No, just my quick message to Scopely is, I think you're listening a little bit right now, and just get this next release ironed out. Don't rush the Strike Pass, and don't give us another RTA that's still broken. Make it right, and give the free-to-play players a little bit of Silver Surfer, throw them a bone tube, and just take your time. Do it right. We can wait. I think that's all we ask.
The last thing I will say is I really hope the Strike Pass does not increase the amount of time that I have to play on this game even more than it already does on the back of the Battle Pass, and that's what I am going to finish off with saying.
Yeah, I got 2 accounts right now because I do the Lobby account too, so it's like I have enough screen time. I don't want any more.
Kidding. All right, so we're gonna leave things just there. Thanks everyone for watching the video, and of course, as always, stay safe, and I'll see y'all later. Boylon signing out, and Genome.
Take care, y'all.